Hi everyone, welcome to another session of G9ijaTV NewsScope, episode 57. My name is Olatunde. Today we have some exciting news that we're actually going to be talking about, and obviously it's actually getting to Christmas there, so there's a whole lot of things that is actually happening out there. So without much ado, I think we should get started with the first story of the day. It's about the man that actually said he's a pastor, but I will not refer to him as a pastor. And obviously, he has people that have been following him, so he's been engulfing all sorts of manner of, shall I say, of controversy, basically. So we've been told that in the name of the person is Pastor, well, Mr. Toby. So, like I said, I don't really want to refer to him as a pastor, really, because we've got so many people out there who says all sort of things, called himself, you know, a title. To be a pastor is not a joke. It's a very serious. It's a very serious title, and it's not just a title. It's a call of God on a man or woman's life. And then when you have some people, purporting themselves to be pastors, so you could tell, the Bible says, said, by their fruits you will know them. So this person's, it's not just that you're judging by this outward appearance, everything about him, the sort of fruits. And then, there have been all kind of allegations. Today I was listening to um, a video log podcast on Facebook, and there was this, this popular lady. The daughter used to be one of those that used to be a member of his supposed church, and what she said there was quite disturbing. In fact, if you say you're a Christian and you've ever read the Bible, I can assure you that you will not call this man a pastor. It's as simple as that. I'm not judging those that actually go to see him from Nigeria and give him this credence, this affirmation, this sort of, I just don't. I just think they themselves are not too sure, or they just did it, or just didn't really care. I don't know, because also those celebrities come from Nigeria to see this man in the UK, and he's basically been deported um, on immigration violations ground, and at the same time on the ground that his place of worship, that there was a fraud there for, I don't know whether it's a million or something pounds, that he couldn't account for. So that's not really my business. What it is I just want to say is that this person is one of those people that just, give pastors a bad name. And that is why, things like this, I say this with utmost care. So I have no dog in this fight other than to try and protect, pastors' names and titles. Because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's not just about titles, but it's basically about the fact that certain things have to be taken, rather seriously. So if you want to be a businessman, there's nothing wrong with it. But to use the name of God, and to go out there, doing all sorts of manner of things that anybody, that has any semblance of Christianity, we know that this definitely, except, is trying to create his own thing. And it's rather unfortunate that to drag, the name of God into this. Because at the end of the day, it's hard enough for pastors to win souls or for Christians. So, you can imagine, everybody will be coming around saying, oh, pastors do this, pastor, dragging the name, So this kind of person, it's just a terrible thing. But let me share my screen quickly with you, and then you can, have an idea of what we're talking about. So, right. So what we've actually got here is The story is about Isaac Pharisee basically slams, Pastor Toby. Those of us that know Isaac Pharisee is the younger brother of the former Ekiti State governor. So and he's been really, really, you know, vocal these days, on the social media. And he said, my son and my nephew ugly experience at Toby's place of worship. I won't call it church. In London, they sat me down for 3 hours, telling me what they went through and how they later escaped from Toby's place of worship. My advice to Toby is to move back to Nigeria because Igbo people don't tolerate that kind of lifestyle. Because apparently, a lot of things his nephew and his son actually told him. And from what I actually heard as well, this night is just rather quite saddening, really. It's not about it's not about personality as such. So although there's a video there, but I think it's about a very dark man. So that's not the focus of my this and it's that's not the focus of our talk this night. The thing about it is that we do have people who believe so much in this guy. This guy is quite charismatic. He's a very intelligent guy. But you need to understand one thing: there's a difference between being intelligent and having wisdom. you know um is this guy does he have some gifting? Yes, he does have some gifting of the gab, that is with his mouth. And he has been able to convince quite a lot of youth. We've been told even from as young as 10 years old. He gets all these young people to come to his church. Then there are allegations of he bringing people to the church and the boys and girls, something about getting married. That is what is being alleged anyway. That he would actually would bring them and say, "Oh, you can get married. Your parents don't have to know." That sort of thing. So, and I know that this guy is very. I don't know whether I should use the word enterprising, but is not the sort of positive enterprise that we will actually want, our young ones, our teenagers, young adults to actually get involved with. Our teenagers they are quite smart, and but they are impressionable. And this gentleman, Toby, basically, took advantage a lot of all of this. The young lady that I heard the video, she was actually on a is the mom that actually hosts the podcast. I think she's called Yekudi, and the daughter said so much. I just wish I could have shared the video. The daughter came online. The mom said, "Nah, anybody can ask her questions," and she discussed about how she was, how she joined the church, the Toby's place of worship, and how she was treated. I said something earlier that by their fruits you will know them. How the beef started. It's not just even about the beef. She said so much that before you know it, that these young girls are separated from their parents. That she said she left home for over 8 months. She never saw her parents. She refused to, until she came to her senses and she actually went back home. So with this sort of thing, really, I don't know. Um, there are so many other things. Like I said, uh, I'm not in for kicking a man when the man is down and things. But when it comes to our young ones, they should be protected. They should be guided. And then when you have someone like this, allegedly, having this sort of predatory behavior, taking advantage of the young ones. And I'm talking about, not just black kids. We're talking of Asians, even some white children. They're there as well as young people that were there, you know. And there's not all that they've said. I mean, you heard what I just read to you about, you know, Isaac Farishe's, the former governor of Ekiti State, your younger brother, Ayo Farishe. We heard what he actually has to say about the cousins. What their experience in the church or their experience in his place of worship. Like I said, it's not a church. So I think there's still a lot of things that is unfolding. I saw a video today, saying that he's saying Nigeria should be proud about him. I think this guy is deluded. Being proud of you does not really mean that because you are driving a Porsche or something, whether a Lamborghini, very flamboyant, designer wristwatch, and so those things you can tell that definitely those are not the things of it. Christians don't go around doing that. Christians have good things, sure. Do they have luxury? Of course they do. But Christians don't go around showing off their, you say you're a Christian, showing off all these luxurious jewelries, wristwatch, dressing in all this designer wear, So that in itself, actually shows that this guy is not, And there was a video as well where he was talking about, who is Jesus. So, you know what? I think I'm going to share this video as well. Where he was talking about who is Jesus, that sort of thing. So make up your mind. So I don't know whether in what context he was saying, whether he was actually saying that or he was saying something, because sometimes it's very easy for people to cut videos and put things. I'm not supporting him, but I will say that even if you have a fake person trying to attract people to Christianity, or well, his own brand of Christianity, I don't think he will go around saying who is Jesus. But let's watch this. Let's watch this video because it's quite important that people actually see this. Then we know exactly from in what area are we coming from in regards to this. To be quite honest, right, it's quite disturbing, you know. So I saw it earlier. Somebody sent me. Well, they didn't send me. I actually belong to a group, and I saw it there, and I basically actually went to look for it because I couldn't find it again. But here is it said an old clip of an embattled UK-based Nigerian Toby Adogwe criticizing Jesus Christ has resurfaced online, thereby sparking widespread reactions among social media users. Recall that in a previous post, Intel Region reported that Toby Adegboyega faces deportation over 1.87 million, fraud allegation. The tribunal's decision comes after an investigation into fund management and allegations from former church members, many of whom claim they were coerced into taking loans or engaging in illegal activities to support his place of worship. It says, however, in the old clip that hit the internet, which has started going viral online, Toby Adegboyega, who seems under the influence of alcohol, was seen berating Jesus Christ. He said, "Who is Jesus and who be that?" In his word, how will you jump on here talking about having a debate with me about Jesus? Who is Jesus anyway? Who be that? May you have the buckle in your life. Debate call, debate me. We're talking about soul winning. You said you want to have debate with me on Jesus. You want to wake up 1 a.m. to have a debate about Jesus. Jesus call. Well, here's the video. So I don't know. Like I said, maybe he's talking out of he's not been seen in context. And people tend to just take things and just say, "Oh, he said things," but I don't know what he said before and what he said after. And when I actually listened to this, I wasn't entirely sure what would have preceded the statement he actually made. But let's take a look at this. Oh, yikes! Okay. Wow. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any. Oh, okay. Mm, I'm sure people can understand what I was referring. What we're actually talking about earlier, and he said, "Oh, we're talking about soul winning." So that's why it's a bit difficult to sort of say, "Okay, oh, right, that is exactly what he actually meant." So I think he must have said something there. I'm not entirely sure, like I said. So, and neither will I get into where we are twisting things to fit a narrative now. We're not going to do that. And so, like I said, I just showed you. So you make up your mind. So I'm not entirely sure as well because he did say, "Oh, we're talking about soul winning. You're talking about Jesus, God, So and yeah, on the face of it, for him to even be saying Jesus God, Jesus name. So you know, and so many people, so many young people that have come forward to actually talk about this. They've said quite a few things, and like I said, it's quite disturbing, and unfortunately, anything is putting out there, is saying that every Nigerian should be proud of him. That I don't know, is something special. I know everybody's special in the eyes of God. God made us differently. We all have different destinies and things to actually, to follow. And so, well, there you have it. So it's quite a shock to most people that this guy is on his way. So they said he's exhausted his appeal, you know, and they spoke about how he came into the country, and stayed ever since. Some people have this opportunity, and just throw it away. So it's rather unfortunate. So yeah, without much ado, I think we need to move to the next segment. Toby has taken almost all of our this in itself. So yeah, so I want to talk about some pretty good things. Yeah, we all know about Emanuela, and for most of us, the image we have of Emanuela is when she was quite small. Well, with she was actually acting with forgotten this other comedian. They both made it quite. They're both doing Uncle Mark, you know so they've both done quite a lot, and apparently there's a recent picture of Emanuela. So she's grown into a very beautiful girl. Out there people say all sorts of things about her getting married to some rich people like that. This rich individual. I was thinking that that it can't be that bad now. Live and let live. So I don't think she's desperate for money that she would say she wants to. Obviously, it turns out to be a lie. So people say all sort of things. So here's Emanuela. It says, "Hey, entertainment lovers, remember those adorable little girls who took the internet by storm with their hilarious skits and infectious laughter? Yes, we're talking about phenomenal Emanuela and anti-success. Fast forward to today, these tiny tots have blossomed into beautiful big ladies. We can't get enough of their stunning transformation, and we're excited to share these gorgeous photos with you. Emanuela, amazing growth. Yeah, so you can actually see that. And then the very good thing is that she's actually grown up to be quite stable, well adjusted young adult, and she's doing brilliantly. And so we're wishing her all the very best and better things to come. She's moving to the next phase of her life, from a young actress into a young adult now. So before you know it, she's doing so well. She built a house for our mom and dad, bought them cars, is doing very well. So it's absolutely fantastic. It's great. I don't know much about the other girl. I think they said anti-success. I don't know about. So, but the somebody said this is Photoshop Joe. So she's looking very good. She's looking very well. So I hope she will find one fantastic guy, God fearing, to when the time comes. But for now, she's enjoying the best of her life. We wish her well, and that's it. So our next story is about the saga in about qualifications. You know, um, to have a degree, it's quite important. It's very good. but it's not the all and be all. For some people, when you have it, that's it. For some people, they don't really have it. They maybe just have a secondary school education and they still do great. You know, different people, different destiny. That is one thing I found out that God actually does. He can do things. That's why we tell people, don't focus on other people. Focus on your own lane. Maintain your lane. Maintain your own lane. You know, maintain your own lane. Stop looking at the Joneses. You know, you, the Jones one, leave the Jones two alone. Focus on your own. Some people will start ahead of you by the age of 21. Boom, boom, boom. They've achieved a lot of things. I've seen people who have achieved so much, within the first 50 years of their life, and their life ended. Because what it takes people a lifetime to achieve, they've achieved everything by the time they are 30, 40, 50. you know. And it's a bit like if you look at the story of KFC, Colonel Sanders, I think he was in his 60s or close to 70 when he finally, got his big break, with the chicken he's been frying. He has done all sorts of man of he never gave up. And thank God, God still gave him a long life, lived to be around 90 something before he died. He's left a legacy, for his children's children. Bible says he said a good man will leave an inheritance for his children. But it has to be done in a wise way because some will leave legacy that will destroy the generation coming. So that is another talk for another day. So it said federal government fires Togo Bini degree holders from MDAS. Now, it says the federal government has fired some civil servants with degree from private tertiary institutions in Benin Republic and Togo. The directive affected federal workers who graduated from the institution from 2017 to date. The Director of Information and Public Relations in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Shegun Imohison, confirmed the development to one of our correspondents on Wednesday. In August, the federal August announced that only a university had been accredited to award degrees to Nigerians in Togo and Benin Republic. This followed an undercover investigation report in which a daily Nigerian journalist acquired a degree from university in Benin Republic in 2 months and used it to participate in the National Youth Service Corps scheme. Following the report, the government banned the accreditation and evaluation of degrees from tertiary institutions in Benin Republic and Togo. The federal government also set up an interministerial investigative committee on degree certification milling to probe the activities of certificate racketeers. The then Minister of Education, Tari Maman, revealed that over 22,500 Nigerians obtained a fake degree certificate from Benin Republic and Togo, and such certificate will be cancelled. Maman explained that the revelation was part of a report submitted to the Federal Executive Council by the Investigative Committee, instituted to probe degree certificate racketeering by foreign and local universities in Nigeria. He insisted that there was no going back on the federal government decision to cancel the about 22,500 certificates awarded to Nigerians by some fake universities in the two francophone countries. Maman maintained that the decision to invalidate the certificate was not harsh as Nigerians who obtained degree certificate from such tertiary institution dent the country's image. You can rightly say that. He said most of those parading fakes didn't even leave the shores of Nigeria, but got their certificate through racketeering in collaboration with government officials at home and abroad. The fake universities capitalized on the gullibility of Nigerian patronizing such schools. The federal government, through offices of the head of civil service and secretary to the government of this federation, would fish out those in the government employment with such fake certificates. I also urge the private sector to follow suit. Although the exact number of affected civil servants could not be ascertained, it was gathered that the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation Cabinet Affairs had issued a memo to all ministers, departments, and agencies to implement the order. A source who pleaded anonymity because she was not authorized to speak on the matter disclosed that the sacking of the affected workers was based on the Interministerial Committee's recommendation. The official stated there was a letter from the SGF secretary, from the SGF cabinet affairs, directing all ministries, departments, and agencies of government to identify and terminate the appointments of workers employed with certificates obtained from the private universities in the Republic of Benin and Togo from 2017 to date. The decision is part of the recommendation of the committee set up to investigate the certificates of people who graduated from university. Our correspondents also gathered that some agencies like the National Youth Services have commenced the implementation of the directive. The NYC Director of Information, Caroline Mbu, confirmed to our correspondent that 5 members of staff had been sacked in line with the SGF's directive. She said 5 members of staff were affected by the directive contained in the letter from the office of the SGF. That is such a terrible thing. You know, in Africa, Nigeria especially, we degree means a lot because it could be um, the difference between getting to a top job. But now there are professional courses, that people can get into. But to actually go down this side, it's just horrible. I can tell you that. And we've seen some impact already too in the United Kingdom. Nowadays now if you're going for a degree, they will ask to see your English certificate, WAEC, GC, English and maths. They will ask to see. Imagine you're going for masters and they ask you to produce your English and maths. It's because as a result of some have shown up with fake certificates. Like we're actually finding out. And the truth of the matter is that there are so many of them. There are so many. I don't want to preempt. I'm being careful what I say here, but there are a lot of people and there are a lot of certificates. If you have people that call themselves certain titles, well, that's just how it is. And, this is not good for the image of the country. Nigerians already having a hard time, trying to make headway without having you know, uh, this sort of challenge, this sort of issue hanging around their neck. You know, there's no other way about it. Why would people do this? It's not just because if you're just thinking about yourself, it has impact. It will have it's like a domino effect. We will have loss of confidence in our certification. That means that Nigerian universities will be, of course, this is not from Nigeria, but that will sort of, will can cause all the other global organizations to try and shed further spotlight on this sort of Nigerian certification, sort of degree certifications, to ensure that it does not have any cover. So there you go. It's not a good news at all. It's not. So moving swiftly on. Yes, I want to talk about Laulu Akonde condemns Afe Babalola for harassing Dele Farotimi. Farotimi is um, human rights activist, brilliant lawyer. That guy is top notch. And so there's this case about defamation. And because, you know, I've not really checked this out, but we've been told that defamation is not a criminal offense, you know. So I don't know. Maybe I should ask ChatGPT. When you're talking about defamation, the person that is accusing somebody else of defaming them have every right to actually take legal redress. But should they now start putting people in prison? So that in itself make a joke of everything we're trying to what we're trying to rectify in the country. Because if at the end of the day, it's almost like abuse of power. It's almost like you're abusing your position. Yes, if it's deemed that he has created some form of defamation, then they should follow the actual process, proper process. Why do you have to bring the police into it? It's contradictory. You see how the contradiction that we have. We can't say on one hand we believe in the rule of law, then on the other hand, that we are taking extra judicial steps. Whereby it's beyond or overreach of the defamation. It's not, and I understand that Lagos State, has even, kind of made the criminalized defamation. So, what we've actually got here, let me just read this quickly. One would like to react to the recent harassment and arrest of Dele Farotimi. The recourse to criminal defamation by a legal luminary of Chief Afe Babalola standing is not inspiring at all. The matter ought to have been pursued via civil means. That is what we're trying to say. The Nigerian Court of Appeal in 1982, in the case of Nwankwo versus State, has opined that individuals ought not to use the instrument of state to fight their opponent. This is why Lagos and Edo State criminalize defamation. Besides, it is truly disturbing to discover that our dear Pa Afe may be behind the harassment of Farotimi, something that we have all seen on video. The use of Nigerian police force mobilized from Ekiti to Lagos so as to escape from the fact that Lagos State has already decriminalized defamation is so inelegant. Pa Afe San is, as he is fondly called, should consider the optics of what the world is witnessing unfold in this saga. In his name, the natural assumption, considering the speed and extent to which the police moved against Farotimi, is that there were some behind the scene maneuvers to warrant that. This is not to deny Pa Afe rights to seek redress. He is aggrieved and we acknowledge his right to seek redress. This is without a doubt. It is his choice to exercise this right in the manner we have all seen that is unsettling, troubling. So, the expectation is that we actually expect Pa Afe Babalola, to, the elder, um, shall I say, you know, one of the highly esteemed legal luminary in Nigeria. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. He's should actually show us. Power should show us the way, not because it will be like, well, he's done it, so why we're not doing it. So a lot of us see him as a role model. And when we actually see stuff like this, it's quite disheartening. No matter how angry Power is, we would expect him to actually follow suit, and do the right thing. And but why did Lagos State actually allowed Farotimi to be picked up from Lagos? Like they sent the police from Ekiti. If Dele Farotimi is in Lagos, it should be protected. That well, he can't be arrested in Lagos. Yes, if he's within Ado Ekiti, where is outside like the jurisdiction where the decriminalization of defamation is not is not decriminalized, then they can pick him up there. But if he's in Lagos, so I just see that as a gap. That's just something I feel that I should actually bring up. They shouldn't have the right if he's in Lagos. It should be protected in Lagos to say you can't, because in Lagos we actually, so it's like a sanctuary sort of sanctuary city for defamation protection, in terms of the criminalization of it. So they shouldn't have been able to arrest him for that. They should have been able to tell the police from Ekiti to say, sorry guys, you got it wrong. You can't come here to do that. Yes, you can take him to court. Absolutely, please do. So that Perfect can seek redress. They should not have been allowed to actually pick him up like that. So these are a whole lot of things that we ought to be dealing with in Nigeria, like quite frankly you know and I don't see the reason why all the other states in Nigeria are not following suit. Why should they all not just leave this to Lagos and surprise surprise, Edo State actually so has the same protection, you know so that this is to prevent people just suing, using this the instruments of should I say using the police, to sort of you know try to score points. There's no need for that. I'm not, well, the truth of the matter is that that's what it looks like in this case there, because um, I don't know whether it's on the basis of his state of origin. But even if it's a state of origin, is Ekiti. I don't think he's from Ekiti anyway. But then, regardless, if he's in Lagos, he should have been protected. They shouldn't have allowed them to arrest him. You know, they should have said, well, if he strays into Ikiti now, you guys can pick him up, or any other states that seems to have the same thing. These are the kind of thing that I think the MB needs to actually look into, and to find a way to make sure that they roll this across the entire country. So let's move on swiftly. Right, I like this next story. So the next story I've actually got is in regards to um, a priest in the Catholic Church um, said some things about how people are pursuing money, like they will live forever. That once they have money, they will be happy. Like, you guys should actually see a lot of people with loads of money. It's not the source of happiness. If you're not already happy by yourself, yeah, it's like people that always say that, oh, you make me, or people in a relationship especially, or if you don't, if you don't make me happy, you wait until the kingdom come to make you happy as well. If you are not happy by yourself, you're not going to be happy. It doesn't matter what they do. So basically, the father actually said, let me add this on the screen here. Right. He said, if the type of money and wealth you are praying for is the type you will use to intimidate others, your prayer will never be answered. Nigerian Catholic priest says. Hmm, okay. Now, it says Nigerian Catholic priest, Father Kelvin Ugo, has a message for those praying for money and well, so they can use it to intimidate others. The sort of Nigerian mentality that said, make we show them, you know, let them know. The Toby Adegboy gas guy that said is a pastor. Let me panic them, let me show them oppression. So when we see a lot of things, some people will do anything. That's why we have ritualists. That's why we have Yahoo plus Yahoo whatever bandits, because they see it as, yes, that's the only reason they want money. Money is not meant to, money. Some say money is the root of all evil. Of course, I beg to differ. The love of money. That's what the Bible says. It said the love of money is the root of evil. When people love money, you see somebody that have got literally billions, trillions. I'm not talking, it's not even in naira. And the truth is that they cannot help anybody. They like to sit down there and count the money and be looking at it and let me show them. So all they look of is that, okay, my great great grandfather that died 10,000 years ago want to turn his back, African tradition. They have no positive impact in there. They are like a light. But that kind of fake light, dull light, nobody feels their impact. They don't have any charity. They don't help anybody. Their money is for oppression. They use their money to create problems. Those are the people in the political arena, even in social arena. Those are the kind of people in your alumni. Once they have money like that, you see them. All they are doing they want to show you that we have money. Those are the kind of money that has no positive. The kind of money that says, "See me." As if that when they die, they are taking the money and said, no, somebody else that you don't know will spend the money anyhow. People create, we have ritualists getting into it just to get money. Bandits, kidnappers, herdsmen. And when I say herdsmen, I'm talking of Fulani herdsmen. So let's put it properly. These people are, they are crazy about money. We have politicians as well. And the question I always ask is that, okay, when you have all these things, I mean, look at it now. Recently, we have someone that was arrested by the EFCC. They actually confiscate about 745 or thereabout anyway houses within an estate. What does it want to do with all of that? People are doing, come and see proper millionaires who are doing things, who are going about helping. I know that there's judgy ones, so we're not naive. We have some who have hidden agendas. But the real ones, the real people, they don't even have billions. They are rich. Maybe they're just, maybe millionaire, all they have is just like 1 million. But their life is such a blessing. They're going around, even if you look on YouTube, I've seen guys going around, looking for testing people, and they enrich their life, how they are being treated. We have YouTubers going on the streets pretending to be poor, then asking for money. And you know what I found out? The people that help them the most are people who don't really have anything. The ones that have money are too busy, like, man, look at them. That who is this one? I don't talk to all these riffraffs or all these beggars. Keep them like a dog. That's how they are treated. Then it now turns out that those people that really help, maybe sometimes another is these people reach out to homeless people, say, oh look, I'm starving, I don't, I've not eaten today, and the person is holding the burger that maybe that's the only thing they will eat that day, and they look at it, then they share it into two. Some even gave everything, said, okay, look, you look as if you are really hungry, and the guy who ate the food and then asked that, why did you help me? Oh, well, I know what it is not to have. I can, I'll be all right. I'll be okay. I will still beg, and somebody maybe might help me. But along the way, you look like you're desperate, so I'm giving this to you. And because of that single action, their life turns around. I think that's a very genius way of, blessing people, especially because it's not every. The truth is, there's not everybody that deserves to be blessed. We don't make that decision. But when we see people who have a heart, people who are very helpful, people who are desperate, we help them. But unfortunately, the world is not ideal. So you always have people who have so much that they don't even care. They will tell you that just, I mean, a lot of our people have that mentality. And that is the reason when people say, oh, politicians are bad. I'm like, don't say politicians. It's the people, it's our mindset in Nigeria. That's what I'm referring to now. Not just Nigeria, it's all across the world, actually. But Nigeria in case. So when these people get into government, what do you think they're going to do? They are really bad all by themselves. Now, mind you, I didn't say it's all politicians that are bad. We have politicians who are absolutely brilliant. We have politicians who have a heart. You know, like some of the ladies I've seen, who are in government, going out doing charities. A senator like that. I can't for the life, I can't remember who this lady is. This sort of thing. I saw the evidence, giving kekemawa, doing all sorts, helping people. Helping our people. That you can see the passion she enjoys giving. You know, I feel that our politicians are paid too much anyway. So that's why it's attracting people who think being in government is so when somebody wins a political contest now, and actually gets into an office, it's like they are celebrating he has won a contract, that he has now welcome, he are now a multi-billionaire. It shouldn't be like that. So what usually happens is that the people who really have a heart to serve, because not all of us that are who have that compassion. Some God has given people, that gift of compassion. They are always going about helping people, doing all sorts of things. Those people don't get into government because those who have hijacked the government, they that is what it is. They don't want to live there. So you have Yahoo Yahoo doing all sorts of mad stuff. It's across the every sector of our of the country. We are in serious trouble when it comes to corruption. It's endemic. This one is more than pandemic. It's really, really bad. Really, really bad. Every single sector. So it doesn't matter what you put in place. Where you have corruption, you know, it's a cancer. The nation that have got extreme corruption can't really stand. No matter what they actually do. Everything you even when the government borrow money to do things, you will see people still shine the money. And what needs to get done will never be done. They were in this vicious circle, and you're wondering. That's why when you look at Nigeria, it's like a contradiction. You see people extreme wealth, and you see extreme poverty. If you do the right thing, people will abuse you and say you are mumu. That you too, if you have ate their own and help. Even if you are not careful, your family will ostracize you and say that you are a cost to the family. You have opportunity to eat. You have a certain president that was treated like that. They said he did not. That president was President Obasanjo. In my view, you might not agree with me. In my view, that man did so much. But they said, oh no, he didn't favor. It doesn't have to be like President Buhari, who was blatantly his core constituent was the North. Every other part of the country is just attachment. And he showed it. And he showed it. I won't say more than that. So the Nigerian Catholic priest, Father Kelvin, has a message for those praying for money and wealth so they can use it to intimidate others. If the type of money and wealth you are praying for is the type you use to intimidate others and make yourself feel like a demigod, your prayers will never be answered, he wrote on Facebook on Thursday. I just saw it because I just saw it as being very, you know, it's just being very precise. And that is really true. You know, the kind of money that has no impact. What is the essence? You're not going to live forever. Go and check, all the grand people, Okotiebo, all the key multi-billionaires in Nigeria and all that. Where are they? They're gone. They've done their bit. So they'll be answering to God. So the key thing is this: what will it be with you? I think it's good to help people, but we help people not that we want to destroy them. But there are some people, honestly, yeah, they don't deserve to be helped. When I say they don't deserve to be helped, they're the kind of people who will turn around. Even the Bible says it. It said, "Don't cast your pearls before swans." So if you have money and you want to help people, I pray that God will direct you in the right way to do it, so that those that really, really has the heart, who truly deserve it, we actually will have it, so that they can be helped. You know. So um, let's see. The last but not the least is about a man that decided to, you know, have a second wife and he chased his first wife away. I just think that the guy is mad. You don't have to do that. You don't have to destroy, one. You don't have to destroy your other home just because you want. If you want to have the other person, I mean, that's your preference. I don't judge people on that. You don't know what it is. But for the guy to say, oh, because they are not accepting what he's trying to do, so he chased that his wife and I'm like, man, that guy they've cooked F4. They've cooked F4 for him. you know, it is not in Nigeria, so let's look at this. So it says, man obtained court order evicting his wife and children and barring them from returning to house. He now lives with his girlfriend. Actually, it's his girlfriend. Okay. So because of that, he has to chase his wife and children away. So Mumango. Ah, okay. See, I told you. So obviously, this guy is a mumu. He's a Mumango. Alleged that his families refusal to accept his new girlfriend into their lives, and their disrespect towards her forced him to take this action. She's so disrespectful, failing to accept my second wife as part of our family. The person that actually wrote this thing is an Oludu. 1 minute is saying wife, another minute is saying girlfriend. Mumango, what a name, told the court they are making it impossible for me to live in peace with my new wife. So I want them out of my house because they don't want to accept my decision as the father of the house. The case took a dramatic turn when the couple's daughter, Tufara Mumango, broke down in tears upon hearing the court's decision. In an emotional outburst, she accused her father of being manipulated and neglecting his family. How could he do this to my mom? Tufara cried. He's just doing this because his girlfriend has manipulated him. He doesn't care about us. He's punishing us for not accepting his new girlfriend. Court officials intervened to restrain Tufara as her emotional play escalated. Primrose Mumango, visibly distraught, described her husband's action as a betrayal. He is no longer in his normal sense. He has been manipulated by his girlfriend. I'm heartbroken by his decision to seek a protection order against me and his plan to evict our children, she said. The case has sparked outrage on social media, rightly so, with many expressing sympathy for the evicted family, criticizing Mumango, but I think we should call him Mumungo. So, folks, what do you think? Somebody said this is one of the reasons Africa is under a curse. African maltreats women. Only in Africa, African brain, they paint them. You sure say now the brain we get with the Igbo people. Mumuma, your eye goes so clear. So, there you have it. I don't know why this man will go down this route. regardless. It could just easily as whether they accept or not. He could have just gone somewhere, go and get a place, and that's it. But to sort of remove his family from his home because they are not that one. Mumungu. He has the case of Mumunguism. Anyway, so that's it, folks. And we'll be back again tomorrow, I think much earlier. I just want to say thanks for everyone that's been around. Please share, like, and follow us on G9ija, Michael Daniels. So for our program, the NewsScope. So I just want to say thanks, everyone. Um, thank God for everyone. Thank God for every life. And see you guys tomorrow. And God bless. Good night.